Hello, I'm John Bachman. One last day of campaigning before the midterm elections, and it looks like momentum may be building for Republicans across the country. We start with the Iowa Senate race, where Republican Joni Ernst has suddenly jumped out to a 7-point lead over Congressman Bruce Braley. Last month, Ernst had a 1-point lead in this same poll. Just 4% of Iowans are now undecided. We haven't heard much about Obamacare from either party, but it came up last night during the final debate for Georgia's U.S. Senate race. Democrat Michelle Nunn was asked if she would have voted for it.
I have said many times that I wasn't there, and I do wish that there had been more bipartisanship.
Pressed several times, Nunn never actually said yes or no. She's taking on Republican David Perdue, who's now holding a 4-point lead in that race. That, according to a new NBC News Marist poll. Libertarian Amanda Swafford takes 3%, but that could be huge because if no candidate tops out over 50% tomorrow, that Georgia Senate race will be headed to a runoff in January. While in Kentucky, it looks like Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell may be on his way to a pretty easy re-election. The most recent NBC News Marist poll there has him leading Allison Grimes by 9 points among likely voters. And President Obama, who has largely stayed away from campaigning in Senate races, brought up the Senate while being heckled again about immigration reform at a campaign stop for Connecticut Governor Dan Malloy.
The Republicans are blocking immigration reform. That's one more reason why we need a Democratic Senate. So I support you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. And you need to go protest the Republicans.
Connecticut's governor is in a dead heat with Republican challenger Tom Foley. And one thing we never really saw during the height of the protests in Ferguson, Missouri, was video from news helicopters, and now we may know why. The AP has obtained recordings that show the FAA approved a shutdown of the airspace over Ferguson designed to keep news choppers out. Police in the area say they made the request after someone shot at a police helicopter, but so far there are no records of anything like that happening. And that slow-moving lava flow threatening a small town on Hawaii's Big Island seems to have stalled. Officials say it's ground almost to a halt about 480 feet from the main road through the village of Pahoa. Dozens of homeowners were put on alert to evacuate, but so far the lava has just burned one shed there. And the tallest building on this side of the planet is now open for business this morning. One World Trade Center, which has taken the place of the Twin Towers in Lower Manhattan, is welcoming its first tenant today. Publishing giant Condé Nast has now officially started moving in. And the kids, do not try this at home. Daredevil Nick Wallenda last night trying to walk through between two skyscrapers in Chicago, no net, blindfold on, nearly 454 feet between the Marina City Towers. Also notice no net there. As we mentioned, Chicago officials actually ignored a law requiring one, saying it wasn't intended for elite performers. Just like that. Pretty cool stuff. Another update for you coming up in 30 minutes. Of course, we're on top of all the election news today. Let's send it back to America's Forum.